Hello guys, welcome to the Future is Polymathic, where different disciplines connect, ideas evolve, and human potential expands. Today's topic I chose is why AI is making the polymath the new specialist. As you know, the specialist, as the name it shows, rule the machine age. The polymath will shape the new age, which will be the intelligence age. For generations, the safest career advice sounded simple. Choose one field, master all the necessary skills for that field, and stay just in your lane. That advice made sense, but not nowadays. It is for the past, back in the industrial era. Organizations were designed back then like machines. Work was divided into departments, roles, and repeatable tasks. The accountant handled the numbers, the engineer built the product, psychology studied behavior, the marketer created the message. Expertise meant going deeper into one clearly defined area. AI is beginning to change that structure. That's the greatest news here. It can already draft documents, summarize research, analyze data, generate code, and produce early versions of strategies in just minutes. This doesn't make expertise obsolete. It changes where human value begins. When many forms of execution become faster and less expensive, the real bottleneck moves elsewhere. It moves towards choosing the right problem, connecting relevant knowledge, recognizing weak assumptions, and deciding what deserves to be built. That is the natural territory of the polymath. A polymath doesn't need to know everything. The modern polymath develops meaningful knowledge across several fields and learns how to connect them. Their strength lies in seeing relationships that remain invisible when each discipline is considered separately. Imagine a company trying to introduce an AI system into healthcare, for example. The technical question concerns whether the model works. The wider problem includes patient psychology, medical ethics, regulation, organizational culture, data privacy, and so on. A technically excellent system may still fail when patients fear it, clinicians resist it, or its recommendations reproduce bias. The person who understands only the algorithm sees a technical product. The polymath sees a human system. As you noted, where is the difference? The disability can be explained through knowledge recombination theory, which says that innovation frequently emerges through new combinations of existing ideas. The individual's components may already be familiar. The breakthrough comes from recognizing that concepts from different fields belong together. One research into scientific innovation supports this principle. Studies of academic work have found that unusual combinations of knowledge can actually produce high novel contributions, although interdisciplinary work may take longer to gain recognition. The creative advantage comes from bringing previously separate ideas into contact. We can see this very clearly in AlphaFold, which is the AI system developed by Google DeepMind to predict the three-dimensional structures of proteins. The breakthrough emerged at the intersection of machine learning, biology, chemistry, mathematics, and structural science. AlphaFold addressed a scientific problem that had challenged researchers actually for decades. Its development contributed to the 2024 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Its importance came from integration of disciplines around a shared problem rather than from just one field acting on its own. Another explanation comes from absorptive capacity theory. The work proposed that previous knowledge helps people recognize the value of new information, understand it, and then apply it. This is highly relevant to AI. AI can place, for example, an enormous quantity of information in front of us. Access, however, is different from understanding. A person with knowledge in psychology, business, technology can ask richer questions, notice stronger connections, and detect answers that make technical sense while failing in human reality. So, therefore, breadth creates more places for new information to attach itself. For example, consider two people using the same AI system to design an employee, for example, well-being program. One asks for a list of popular activities, the other understands psychology, organizational change, workplace culture, nutrition, and data ethics. That person may recognize that stress cannot be addressed through meditation sessions alone. Work-load, managerial behavior, sleep, financial pressure, and psychological safety also shape the outcome. So the tool is the same, the intellectual architecture behind the question is different here. Another useful idea is cognitive flexibility. This is the capacity to shift between perspectives, adapt one's thinking, and approach a problem through different conceptual frames. Complex problems rarely announce which disciplines contains the answer. Climate change involves science, politics, economics, psychology, and social behavior. Organizational transformation involves technology, identity, communication, emotion, and power. Polymathic thinkers can move between these frames while maintaining the relationships between them. This becomes particularly valuable because AI has what researchers call a jagged technological frontier. This is a performance, its performance is uneven. It can produce excellent answer to one task and another error on another task that appears equally straightforward. In one experiment, which involves more than 750 consultants, researchers found that AI improves speed and quality on tasks within its capabilities. On a task beyond that frontier, however, consultants using AI were more likely to reach the wrong conclusion. The system had processed part of the information convincingly while missing a crucial insight. What is the lesson here? The lesson actually is significant. Effective AI use requires more than prompting. It requires judgment about where the machine is capable, where it is fragile, and which perspective may be missing. A narrowly trained professional may evaluate an answer through just one disciplinary lens. A polymath can examine the same answer technically, psychologically, commercially, and ethically. Each perspective offers another opportunity to identify a hidden weakness. This also explains why the phrase execution is cheap needs some precision. Skilled execution still matters, particularly in medicine, engineering, law, and other high-stakes fields. AI is making certain forms of cognitive execution faster and easier to access. It can produce a first draft, generate alternatives, or accelerate routine analysis. Human beings remain responsible for the context, consequences, and standards. The future, therefore, belongs neither to shallow generalists nor to isolated specialists. It belongs to people who combine depth with range. We might call them integrative specialists, individuals with strong foundation in one or two areas accompanied by enough breadth to communicate across fields and combine different forms of knowledge. The early example I gave you with AlphaFold story demonstrates this clearly. The achievement depended on serious technical and scientific depth. Its transformative power emerged when those depths were connected. The same pattern appears in business. A founder developing a financial well-being platform needs some understanding of finance, behavioral science, technology, regulation, and user experience. A leader introducing automation needs to understand efficiency alongside motivation, identity, and organizational change. A psychologist designing a digital intervention benefits from knowledge of data, product design, ethics, and human-computer interaction. AI can help these people travel across disciplines more quickly. It can explain unfamiliar concepts, compare frameworks, translate technical language, and help produce early prototypes. This reduces the practical cost of exploring beyond one's original profession. Yet, AI doesn't automatically create polymathy. Collecting information from many fields creates breadth of content. Polymathy requires breadth of understanding. It involves questioning, testing, integrating, and applying knowledge. Without this work, AI may simply produce a more sophisticated form of superficiality. There is also a possible paradox. One research has shown that generative AI can improve individual creativity while making outputs across different people more similar. When everyone uses the same systems, follows similar prompts, and accepts the first plausible response, thinking may begin to converge. It will begin to converge. Then the polymath offers protection against this intellectual sameness. A person drawing from psychology, biology, philosophy, technology, and lived experience brings a richer set of associations to the machine. AI generates possibilities. This may be actually the defining professional skill of the intelligence age. The industrial economy rewarded people for performing just one part of a process with increasing precision. The AI economy will increasingly reward those who can understand the whole system, those who can move between fields, translate between specialists, and recognize patterns across boundaries. Specialist knowledge remains essential. Polymathy gives it direction. AI can generate answers. The polymath decides which questions are worth asking, which fields should enter the conversation, and which fragments of knowledge belong together. Thank you very much for listening. Hope it was helpful. See you next time.